Okay, mate. Well, I'm glad that you've got the colt starting DVDs and kit and you're working through that. Yes, it's always good to tie your horse up at the end of a training session. When she paws the ground and digs big holes, etc., well, one thing, that's why I tie my horses up on the railway ties, whether I put them on the patient's pole and then there's railway ties around the patient's pole, because that way if they start digging a hole, they can't dig through the railway tie. Nothing pisses me off more than horses digging massive big holes all over my ranch, okay? It just drives me insane. So I always, you could put just a rubber mat down on the grass, really, and accomplish the same thing. Couple of theories. You can either leave her there until she quits doing it and relaxes and then untie her and put her away, or every time she paws the ground and acts silly, go over there and do some more groundwork. Do the sending exercise where she's tied up. Do lunging for respect stage 1 and 2. Give her a reason to want to stand still, relaxed, okay? Another thing you might want to keep in mind is think about where she's trying to get back to. Sometimes they'll paw the ground and get silly because they want to get back to the barn. Well, untie her, take it back to the barn and work their ass off at the barn or at the pasture or wherever they're trying to be. Get them using the think inside their brain and really, really looking for some oxygen, and then take them back and tie them up back again. If they get silly and want to get nervous again, untie them, take them back to where they want to be. So basically, work them where they want to be, rest them where you want them to be. And if you do that several times, they usually get a lot better about not wanting to get back to, the barn, the pasture buddy, or wherever it is. And a lot of it is just maturity too. There's some horses that, I just leave them tied up all day, and if they're acting silly at the end of the day, I put a hay bag up and I give them a drink of water, and I leave the damn things tied up all night. You know what I mean? I come back in the morning and work them again, give them a drink, something to eat, and go walk them again. And I might tie them up 2 or 3 days straight. Okay, they've got water and they've got food for all the tree huggers that think I'm abusing this damn thing. Okay, but they just got to kind of learn some patience, and it's kind of almost like a little bit of a brat, a kid that flops over on the ground at the shopping center and starts whining because its mother won't give it a piece of candy. Initially they cause a big scene, don't they, in the shopping center, and every mother, I suspect, wants to just make the kid shut up and move on and not create a scene. But if you feed it some candy, it'll just, the devil just grows. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to go through a little ugliness to get to the good stuff. So don't be frightened to do that either. But as a good rule of thumb, figure out why they're pouring. Are they trying to get back to a location? If you really want to know, and you have to do this in the right environment. So I will say this right now. You got to do it on your own property and all the gates are shut and blah, blah, blah. But if you really want to know where a horse is trying to get back to, and they're getting upset when they're tied up, they're pawing the ground and digging a hole and acting like a jerk, just unsnap the lead rope. Let it go. And it'll run exactly where it wants to be. So it's, you know what I mean? And that's where and wherever it goes, that's where you go work its feet. Now, when I say that, I'm sure there's some lady listening to this. Oh my God, I can't believe he said let the horse go. How irresponsible is Clinton Anderson telling people to unsnap the lead rope and let the horse run around the neighborhood? I didn't say that, you idiot. I said on your own property with the gates shut and use some friggin' common sense, okay? So don't take what I say completely out of context and use it against me, okay? But I've done that before. I've done that before with riders on trails. If they've got a horse that's always jigging, you can just take the rider off the horse and have them turn the horse loose, and you'll find it'll run around a little bit, and then all of a sudden it'll just settle back into the herd and just walk with no rider and follow the herd, okay? And I do that on my own property again, because again, I know my property, it can't get out in the highway, it's not going to get loose, but I do that to prove a point that horses don't naturally want to jig on the trail. They jig because they usually got some idiot on their back that's making them feel trapped and claustrophobic. Once you get the predator off their back, they settle into the herd pretty good. And I just use that as a point to prove to people at clinics sometimes, okay? So a lot of maturity. And again, 2-year-olds, don't tie them in a different place every single day. Tie them in the same location until they get pretty good at it, okay? And then you can move them to another location. Don't change locations every single day because it's hard for them to kind of get into a little bit of a routine, okay?